things in production?
And reproduction.
And reproduction. Yes, shout it out. Reproduction.
Yeah.
What else? Food production.
Education.
Okay, education, but not just food production, because you could be talking about agribusiness. So let's be a little bit more specific.
Jobs.
Jobs, what kind of jobs?
We're saying they need to be creative.
Creative jobs. Anybody want to put a finer point on that?
Local agriculture.
Local agriculture.
Living wage jobs.
Living wage jobs, that's helpful.
Affordable swords.
Affordable swords? I know that's not much. What? Affordable what? Really swords. It is what he said. Okay, I don't get that, but all right. All right. So here's the rub. Let's think about solidarity economy, right? Maybe what's easier to think about are things that are aligned with those principles, right? Right. So we're thinking about democratic workplaces, right? Lots of people mention co-ops, right? In terms of agriculture, local is good, but does it necessarily mean that it reflects solidarity economy principles? What might be a model that is much more likely to represent solidarity economy principles? No? CSAs. We definitely embrace CSAs, right? This direct relationship with farmers.
What is CSA?
Sorry? Oh, sorry.
What is CSA?
Sorry. Community supported agriculture. So you buy a share in a farm, and in exchange you get a share back of what they produce. Yeah.
Shared resources or infrastructure.
Shared resources, or so the whole share economy, right? Here's a big one that somebody said reproduction. This is an important component, right? The whole care economy. It's not monetized, or part of it isn't monetized. You know, when you raise your kids, when you take care of your aging parents, when you take care of your neighbor, right? This is all the care economy. And if you had to hire somebody to do all of that, it would have a tremendous economic value. But it's something that we do. It's often not monetized. Solidarity economy recognizes that as an important part of the economy that needs to be treated with value and supported. So that's something everybody already is engaged in. Let's think about distribution and exchange. What would examples be of solidarity economy, distribution and exchange? Yeah.
I think a really fundamental point of departure is downsizing material livestock.
Okay, that would be consumption, right? To think about, you know, voluntary simplicity. Yep. A lot of the shared economy stuff would also be part of consumption and use. Yeah, I saw a hand.
Or localizing the economy. So
Local.
shipping around.
Yep. So that might also be part of the, you know, this emphasis on distribution being more local. Yeah.
Trading versus the big money that people are using.
Sorry, trade. So are you saying
The
social?
first thing was trading.
Trading.
Trading rather than buying and selling.
Oh, I see. Right. Yes. Good. Barter. Yep. Good. Great. Yeah. Libraries. That's interesting. Yes. A different way of exchanging books. So those are great examples. Anything else in this sphere? Distribution and exchange?
Free piles.
Free piles. Fair trade. At least some kinds of fair trade would fit in here. What about consumption use? We already had some. Any other things come up under consumption and use? Things like community land trusts, right? The notion of the commons, right? The framework of the commons, co-housing.
Peer-to-peer economy.
Sorry?
Peer-to-peer economy.
Yep. Well, yes, it's both distribution, exchange, and consumption. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap, you and then you.
Energy barn raisings where people can reduce their consumption.
Yep.
Volunteerism.
Volunteerism?
So I can't see the chart very well, but it looks to me like there's something, a big thing that's left out. And that is, and you just touched on it when you were talking about the care economy. Because so much of what we do, and so much of what we'll need to do in a economy that's less devoted to things is doing services for each other. And as somebody who does that, I'm trying to figure out where it fits in. And I think that what you said about the care economy not being monetized is probably a key to it, because in the areas where the care economy is monetized, it's the lowest paid work. Because let's say you have you're a child care provider, or you're a home health aide,
Yeah.
or you're a PCA,
Yeah.
and the things you're doing are replacing things people usually do for themselves and their families do, and you get paid absolute crap wages to do
Yeah.
that, but it has huge value.
Yeah.
So that somehow needs to get put into your model.
Care economy, we would count it as in here, and it's
Yeah.
part of production and reproduction.
Well, except that the way you presented it, we're still kind of stuck in the model about thinking about the economy as relating to things. And I think that the way that services are changed is a little different. So I think the model needs a little tweaking.
All right, so we could debate about that. You know, maybe that's right. We've been putting it here, the care economy here. It's a service, just like many other services, and sometimes it's paid for and sometimes it's not. Some of it's crappy pay. Also care economy includes well-paid jobs, right? So in care economy would include doctors, for example. So care economy is huge. But what is very different is that we're very explicitly saying we believe shouldn't be invisible. This unpaid care work should not be invisible. It should really be valued, respected as real work, and we need to make the work conditions better, make the wages better, and if it's a paid work. And if it's not, we need flex time. We need personal days off, right, so that you can deal with your care responsibilities. So it's always an ongoing process of sort of the theory of what fits where, but certainly care economy is here very, very much in force. Yeah.
That's not a question.
Yeah.
This is not just to ask a question, I mean, how do we reconcile demonetizing as a theme?
What?
Demonetizing, like taking profit quotas out of it, which I would agree with 100%, but reconciling that, demonetizing, with trying to establish more good jobs.
Trying to establish, sorry?
Good jobs.
Good jobs.
Wage-paying jobs.
So, you know, so this is me talking. I don't think the issue is eliminating the monetized economy. And I don't think the issue is that profits are a terrible thing. I think it's the whole system that's a problem.
But that whole
That
system
even,
is based on money and profit, so that's why it's already a problem in the first place.
yeah, but you can have a surplus or profits, and it doesn't have to be the ruling objective of the economic system. And you can have money, and it doesn't have to be the measure of your value, of your personal value. So there are ways that we can have money, that we can have markets. This is disputable. I mean, there are people that would argue markets are inherently evil. I think we can have markets. I think we can have profits or surplus, and it's not an evil thing. It depends very much on whether we have all these things, right? A commitment to equity and sustainability and democracy and solidarity, right? So one thing by itself is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah.
You didn't get to finance and capital.
Okay.
And in my view, I think that the big financial markets and the trading and this enormous accumulation of virtual money across the globe is one of the biggest evils of capitalism.
I agree. the global financialization of our economy is clearly one of the key elements that led to the meltdown and drove all kinds of speculation and bubbles and that popped and yeah, absolutely. So what is, anybody come up with examples of, in the finance capital sector of solidarity economy?
Revolving loan fund?
Yeah, what else?
Social investing.
Yeah,
Local banks.
local banks, uh-huh.
Cooperative fund?
Cooperative fund, yay.
Greenwashing.
Greenwashing. Is that solidarity economy?
Well, it's part of it. We want to watch out for people putting money into things and trying to support.
Fair enough. We want to watch out for greenwashing. I like that better. Thank you. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm hoping that we get out of this. You know, we could talk. There are many things we can fill all of these sectors up with. Many examples, and we can talk about solidarity economy. Approaches to governance, like I mentioned, participatory budgeting, but also community-led economic development, for example. The point of this exercise is to say we have this huge foundation upon which to build, right? So we can talk about all these hundreds of practices, right? This kind of co-op, that kind of co-op, this CSA, that CLT, this, you know, many things, very exciting. They tend all to be isolated from each other. So the co-ops work here, and the local currency works here, and the CSAs work there, right? And so what it doesn't add up to as much as is there, right? We don't see it. So if I have time, I'll just tell the little story. What time? Oh, 3 minutes. Not much time. All right, I'll tell you the little story about the butterfly. Maybe some of you have heard this already. So when a caterpillar spins its chrysalis, what happens is its body starts to degrade into this goop, a nutrient-rich goop. And what happens is there are these things that start appearing called imaginal cells. And at first, the remnant of the caterpillar's body thinks that they're foreign bodies, and it attacks it, right? So there are antibodies attacking these imaginal cells. But they keep appearing, and eventually they start to cluster. And as they cluster, they are able to withstand the attack of the antibodies. They survive. And they recognize each other as part of the same thing, the same vision, the same imagination. They come together, they cluster, they find each other, and they start differentiating. So some grow into antennae, some grow into legs, some grow into eyes, some grow into wings. And eventually they come together to create a butterfly, which emerges from the chrysalis. The analogy here is we have all these imaginal cells of the solidarity economy. All these hundreds of imaginal cells. We do not yet recognize each other as part of the same transformative project. So that's one thing we need to do. We already actually have the differentiation in all these sectors. But the important thing, or one of the key things about solidarity economy, is it provides a framework to pull these different pieces together and hopefully get us pulling in the same direction. So that's, as a framework and a theory, that's one of the strengths of solidarity economy. So I want to, in maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just talk about some of the things that are actually going on. So in the United States, there are an enormous number of really exciting initiatives. I'll mention a couple. For example, one of the workshops or plenaries that we'll have will be on thinking about community control and ownership of land. How do you get How do you gain access to that land? And what are you going to do with it? This is partly driven from the Right to the City national network, thinking about, okay, we're doing this anti-foreclosure work, but what's the long-term vision, right? And so there's this joining up with solidarity economy and pieces of solidarity economy like community land trusts, like the Commons vision. So that's exciting. That's kind of rolling out on a national level. Folks know the election of Chokwe Lumumba in Jackson, Mississippi. So his platform included solidarity economy, his political platform. So that was really exciting. First time, as far as I know, in the United States, that's happened. Let me just mention the U.S. Solidarity Economy is a national network. This is very much what we're trying to do, is pull together and strengthen those pieces, right, that are not necessarily connected right now. We in turn are connected and part of this intercontinental network. So there's that kind of, those connections being formed from every single continent throughout the world. And the meeting in Manila was great. We came out the other end with some clear commitments around communication, around networking, around building local practices, around the vision and definition. Whereas this is a very young framework, and it's continually evolving. So we had a great session on the vision and definition of solidarity economy. Something that was exciting that happened there was the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, right, ASEAN, held its meetings concurrently. So there was a meeting with these representatives from ASEAN and talk about how to support solidarity economy. That was exciting.